currency is that the middle class shrinks and the wealthy class gets wealthier. And just look at it, not just in the last few years, but over the decades. That's generally has been the case. A lot of wealth has left the middle class. When we had a freer market and sounder money and limited government, the middle class in this country was the largest middle class in the history of the world, and it was the wealthiest middle class in the world. I think we lost the moral high ground many years ago, probably a little bit before the Depression or from the progressive era. We lost the moral high ground because those who said that government will always take care of those people who are having problems. And if you're a humanitarian, you want to give free stuff out. You want to give free food, free medical care, free education, free houses, and everything will be okay. The trouble is, you can do that for a little while, but then it ends, and then the people are unhappy, and guess what? The very people who were supposed to be helped with these humanitarians who were intent to transfer the wealth around the world and think that wealth can come from spending and printing press money, when then it comes out, guess who suffers the most? The very people they were pretending to help, and that is what is so clear today. And this is what's happened in the last 4 years. The evidence is out on the table. The monetary system doesn't work. The foreign policy doesn't work, leads to endless wars. The economic system is deeply in debt now, and that is the reason that we have to restore the basic values of just common sense, sound money, private property, and also we have to address this foreign policy that has given us endless wars against enemies that we don't know who the enemies are. We don't know why we go to war. We don't declare the wars. We don't know when the wars are over because they're endless. We need the policy change. We need to end the wars, and we need to bring our troops home. The message of liberty has been around a long time. We talked a little bit about it 4 years ago, and a lot of people joined the effort in the last 4 years, a lot more. But even today, this message of liberty is spreading. We get criticized also for the foreign policy of minding our own business and providing for a stronger national defense because they don't understand. But guess who should understand the most? Those who are serving, who have served in the military, and guess who they support for the presidency of the United States. Now, most people know that I've served in the military. I was in the military for 5 years. There's no other candidate that has been in the military. Some people say, oh, they just support you because you're in the military. That's partial, but I don't think that's the whole thing. I think it's the foreign policy and the concern and the commitment that I would never send troops into a war that is not declared, know exactly who the enemy is, fight it, win it, and get it over with and come home. And as well as going in the military, we take an oath of office to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I can reassure you that the foreign enemies are not a threat to us. There's nobody on the verge of invading us, believe me. We have more weaponry and we spend more on our military than everybody else put together. So this whole idea that we're on the verge of being attacked, this was true when I was in the military in the 60s. The Soviets were a power. Of course, they bankrupted themselves, and their empire ended. But we have to realize that we don't have this fear. We don't have to keep spending more and more and more. Matter of fact, the more we spend, the more we send our troops overseas, the more bases we have, the more drone missiles we use to kill people, the less safe we are. We're not safer by running that foreign policy. Not only do I believe it's a detriment